If you want to get in contact with me, the best way to do it is on Instagram. If you just want to say what up, if you want to tell me you love my videos, you can tell me that you hate my videos, but the best way to do that is on Instagram. Peace, y'all. Johnny Fastlane here. So, Eminem disses Nick Cannon, and Nick Cannon responds. DaBaby performs on Facetime when he couldn't make it to his show. And did Obie Trice get arrested for shooting his stepson? Let's talk hip-hop.
Tell him this chick's a nut job for he got his jewels clipped. Almost got my caboose kicked. Fool quit, you're not gonna do shit. I let her chop my balls off too before I lost to you, Nick.
Alright, so that was a clip of Fat Joe's song Lord Above, right? Fat Joe just dropped his album Family Ties today, and the album is fire, right? But on this song, he has Dre on it, of course, and himself, and then he also has Eminem on the last verse, right? And Mary J. Blige is on the hook, actually, and Eminem actually raps for like 3 minutes straight on the last verse, but in the beginning of his verse, he's like, you know, and I only listened to it a few times because it just came out today, but he was like, this is a little side note, me and Mariah Carey didn't end on the high note. Then he started talking about Nick Cannon and how basically that pussy got him neutered. I would have let her cut my balls off too before I lose to you, Nick. You know, and basically he went in on Nick Cannon, right? He was dissing him like crazy, right? And it was insane, right? So of course he goes on for 3 minutes rapping about Nick Cannon and a bunch of other stuff too, right? And whatever. So anyway, Nick Cannon heard this, I guess, early in the morning this morning. So he responded to it on his morning show.
Listen, Eminem's been doing this forever, right?
We should change his name from Eminem to like Percocet. Listen, start calling him Percocet. No, what's the pill that old people do? We're gonna call him Cialis.
Oh,
Cialis. Bring your walker, get out your wheelchair, Eminem, and pop some whatever you pop.
Viral. Here we go.
Pop whatever you want to pop. Should I respond back to this?
That's the question.
It's not worthy of a response. I gotta get in my time machine. Go put my Gigolo jersey on.
Alright, so Nick Cannon responds, right? And he's basically like, yo, get off your high chair, get in your wheelchair, and pop whatever pills you gonna pop, and try to come at me again, you know, try better, right? And he's like, should I even respond to this dude, right? And then he starts calling him Cialis instead of Eminem, because you know, a little Eminem, you ain't Eminem no more, you old as fuck, so we gonna call you Cialis, right? And then of course he starts kind of just making fun of like Eminem's voice was like Manson, Panson, Rancin' and the Canson. And basically, it seems like Nick Cannon is like, I'm not even gonna respond back to this dude in the lyrical way, right? Like he's not worth my time, right? But it would be dope and fire to see like an Eminem and Nick Cannon battle, right? I mean, if y'all thought that Nick Cannon was gonna slouch on this, y'all would be surprised that Nick Cannon actually does have bars and could go against Eminem, right? But yo, I guess we'll have to see, but that's what's going over right now. Let me know what y'all think about this in the comments.
Hey, look. What we doing? Give us some milk. Fuck it, let's turn up. Back in the minute, gone.
This is fire, right? Because DaBaby is here in New York. I don't know if he's still here, but at least last night he was, right? So he was supposed to fly from New York to Charlotte, North Carolina, and perform over there. And the crazy thing is that DaBaby is from North Carolina, so of course he wants to be in his home state when he performs, right? And he wants to turn up. He wants to show everybody love. There's people that probably know DaBaby for real, like before he blew up, that was there. Niggas that was following him back when he was just rapping in a closet somewhere. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so, you know, the niggas who knew him when he wasn't DaBaby, but when he was Baby Jesus, right? So anyway, DaBaby couldn't get to the show for whatever reason. I think that his plane like broke down or scheduling or something happened, right? So he was stuck in New York, right? But a team, basically they called Stunner for Vegas, and he went out there and he was on stage basically explaining everything that happened, and then he called DaBaby on FaceTime And you see DaBaby on the Jumbotron just turned up like, nah, we're gonna run through the set anyway, right? And I think that that's just super dope, super humble. And DaBaby made an announcement basically saying, please everybody hold your tickets because there's gonna be a free show coming to you a lot later, right? So also DaBaby put that video up on his Instagram and he followed it up with a long ass caption, but I'm gonna just read like the last little part because this was like a message straight from DaBaby to his fans, right? He says, no matter how I come off to anybody that knows me personally, you know I am one of the most humble dudes that you could ever meet, especially being in the position that I'm in and what I went through to get here. But last night was even more humbling, right? God gave me the opportunity to show my city that I'm not perfect, right? And while at the same time showing me that I don't have to be perfect for my city to love and support me, for the lessons that I was taught to me through these unfortunate circumstances, I am grateful. This time, this type of shit don't happen where I'm from. They usually would have tore that bitch down, but instead, y'all helped me write another page in the history books last night. Appreciate y'all for understanding. From Baby, right? And this was dope, right? So the fans can't hate him when he's like calling in and being like, yo, I'm here, I'm still here, I'm trying to do everything and anything so that I could give y'all a good show, right? And something like that is fire, yo. And I think that it is dope, right? So I know that that made the fans that were there love DaBaby even more. And then when you saw in that little clip, that person wrote, you know, hey man, I can't even stunt, basically, you know, I don't have it in front of me, but basically was like, yo, DaBaby is dope and fire for even doing that, right? Because he didn't have to, right? People don't show up to shows all the time and it's just like, oh well, but he actually called in and was like, no, I want my fans to see me. I want them to know what's going on, right? I mean, it was cool that he got a chance to like interact with the whole crowd, right? And he rocked the stadium and he wasn't even there, right? So, yo, man, let me know what y'all think about this in the comments.
Obie Trice, real name, no gimmicks.
Alright, so I don't know if y'all remember Obie Trice, right? He's from like the early 2000s, and he was down with Eminem and D12 and Royce the 5'9" and all them dudes, right? He's from Detroit. So the whole situation that happened was that last night, I guess he had been drinking like all night, right? He comes home mad late. Well, I wouldn't say that's his home, right? He went to some girl that he was messing with's house that I guess he was staying there, but she had got an order of protection against him, right? But I guess she kind of was letting him stay there anyway, even though the order of protection was in place, just like, yo, don't tell nobody I'm here. And she was probably like, okay, and letting him stay, right? But the whole situation, he was out drinking all night, comes in mad late, starts arguing with shorty, right? And I guess maybe he started getting into like a physical altercation with the girl. At that time, a neighbor, like, I guess, heard like a lot of screaming and commotion, so they decided to call the cops, right? So the cops are on their way there, but not there yet. And then the woman's son steps in, right? But her son is not a kid. Her son is 18 years old, so he's grown, but not grown, but he's like 18, right? So he's grown, right? Steps in and basically tries to protect his mom, right? Would you hit my mama? Don't hit my mama. Would you hit my mama for? Right? And I guess he was like, yo, man, get the fuck off my mama, whatever like that. And Obie Trice went and got a gun, right? Obie Trice comes back with the gun and ends up shooting the kid in the groin, like the pelvis area, right? So the kid now has a fractured pelvis. He's bleeding and everything, right? Hops in the whip and drives himself to the hospital, right? And then at that point, the police show up. They see Obie Trice walking around back and forth with the gun out real quick and all that. Get on the ground! Get on the fucking ground! You know, he gets on the ground and then they take the gun from him and he gets arrested, right? He's held on like $16,000 bail and I think he's probably still in jail right now, but he'll be out by tomorrow, right? But the whole situation is crazy. And Obie Trice, man, you got to calm down, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? But I think it might be too late for you. Got to calm down because the nigga, if they try to get him on attempted murder and violation of order of protection, 2 felony charges, and also I guess for beating that bitch, he might get a charge for that too, some domestic shit. So he gonna get calmed down, all right. You know what I'm saying? So, but anyway, let me know what y'all think about this and everything else in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Make sure you hit that notification bell and follow me at Johnny Fastlane on Instagram. Y'all already know what to do. Peace.